It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on the other side of you. What you do know, however, is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you because that's New Orleans and this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Actually, today we do have quite a bit in common, everybody, strangely enough.
A little.
We'll get to that in just a moment. Today we're at Wayfare on Ferret Street, which is a couple blocks down from Napoleon Avenue. And they have a 3-hour happy hour here every day, by the way, in case you're interested in that. From 3 to 6 p.m. They have an awesome brunch on the weekends. And if you'd like to stick around for the next hour, you can spend happy hour with me. And my guest, James Arey, is here.
Pleasure.
Whose
nice
voice
to see you.
you've probably heard many times before on 104.9 FM Classical.
Classical 104.9, yeah. We launched here in the Crescent City just about 14 months ago, and a great success so far. So for everyone who has tuned in already, thank you very much. And if not, well, you know, you ought to.
What's the phone number for the fund drive?
Well, the fund drive has just ended, but great segue. You can call and pledge anytime. 1-800-286-7002. That's 800-286-7002.
Isn't that great to be able to watch you and hear that at the same time? It's quite a treat.
And my lips didn't even move, yes.
That's amazing. And before that, you were on WWNO, which is the NPR station.
Correct. We had classical music on until about a few years after Katrina.
Did you quit after the classical music went off WWNO, or was that a coincidence?
It was more of my concern just about the longevity and the health of the station.
Oh, you thought it was fucked after they took off the classical music?
I hoped it wasn't, but I looked out for myself and got another job at a station in Omaha,
so you
Nebraska.
really thought that the NPR feed was going to be less successful than classical music, which is the least popular genre in the whole country?
No, not necessarily. I mean, there was a break.
Not necessarily.
There was a break that the station was going to be able to take advantage of from NPR to say, you know, you get to air Morning Edition or All Things Considered free without fees for a year or two. But once those year or two were up,
right,
was the station going to be in a financially strong position?
And you guessed no.
I guessed no, and there were some lean.
Guess what?
And there were some lean times.
Turned out to be totally wrong, and you're back.
Happy, very happy.
Yeah, well, happy
very
back. Well, that's interesting. I didn't realize that you were betting against the station. How did they?
Well,
how
no,
did they feel
I was
about
betting
that?
for me. I was betting for myself.
Right.
Yeah.
How'd they feel about that when they heard that you were
Not great.
Like a traitor?
Hashtag not great. I don't think they had hashtags back then.
What about
but
the
yeah.
fact that they hired you back? Is it the same people that you quit on that hired you back?
A lot of my colleagues are the same. Management is a little different. The university is a little different. I mean, this is a completely different entity. It's a 24-hour FM, traditional FM radio station, which is something the city has never had before, even prior to Katrina.
This is 104.9, the classical station.
Correct.
You're talking about.
So
Correct.
I'm going to have to jump in.
Linda Seabright is here.
Thank you.
Hi, Linda.
Hi.
Yes. Linda's also a radio personality from San Francisco.
I am, and our lives have paralleled each other as far as our stations, but I'm already confused. So the WWNO is WWNO, and you're saying that it ran classical music after Katrina, and then it stopped? Is that correct?
It did.
Okay.
It did.
And so then you jumped ships.
I did.
Sort of.
A Midwestern ship.
Okay.
Yes.
And then you came back to this classical 104.9, but that's associated with WWNO?
It's owned by the same people. The same
okay.
New Orleans
part of
Public Radio
UNO.
owns and operates the license for that.
Okay. So I think I understand now.
Yeah,
I'm
but
pretty
we're
sure I
moving
do.
forward. It's great. We're very, very happy.
And Linda, you're on an NPR station in San Francisco.
I am, and how we parallel each other, James, and my dear friend, and my other dear friend.
Kelcy Mae is here, who we haven't even introduced at all.
Dear friend
Kelsey.
number 3.
Hello.
Kelcy Mae is making her third or fourth appearance on Happy Hour. Which one is it, I wonder?
I don't know.
Can't remember. With a new
been a
band
while.
this time.
Correct.
Last time you were being on your own. We've actually charted your whole career.
Have you?
You started out when you first came on Happy Hour.
When I was in preschool.
You were in preschool.
Just drinking-
You just arrived from
just drinking.
Shreveport,
Yes.
and you were a poet.
Correct.
And then you gave up that and became.
Well, not exactly.
Are you still
No one
a poet?
ever gives up being a poet.
You don't
I
give up being a
think.
poet.
Well, I guess some people might.
Well, what about Garrison Keillor? He gave it up.
Did he? I think he gave up a lot.
Talking of
lately.
NPR. Yeah. So here.
Reputation.
Do you guys know the inside story about Garrison Keillor being NPR people?
I do.
Well, what happened?
Well, there was a thing, and he potentially, theoretically, hypothetically had happy hands, and some people were concerned about his happy hands, and he retired himself.
Okay.
And they had to rename the show.
He owned the name Prairie Home Companion, apparently.
And he also owned a lot of the content within the show. You know, a lot of the characters, a lot of the sketches, a lot of the routines. He owned the copyright for that. They had been looking to make a name change for the show for a long time. And this was, of course, a little sooner than they wanted, but they had been wanting to make a change for a while.
Do you guys listen to that show now, whatever it's called? Live from Here?
From Here.
Do you
Heard it a
listen
few
to
times.
it?
I have listened to it, and I like it very much.
I think it's about 5,000% better than when
Yeah.
Garrison Keillor did. It's a
I-
whole different show.
I
It's a
never-
little more
fantastic.
music. It's a little less sketchy.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's actually interesting and great and funny and current.
I actually never liked Garrison Keillor. And sorry, I'm one of very few who couldn't stand him, actually.
Did you know that the show used to be 3 hours long?
Oh,
Did anyone ever listen to the whole 3 hours? I was shocked when I found
I'm
it.
sure some people did. My daughter was devastated that the Prairie Home
Really?
Companion. Devastated.
I more
'cause-
miss the Writer's
Well,
Almanac.
that's what I
I
was
don't
just
really
going to say.
miss Prairie
That's-
Home
yeah.
Companion,
Is your,
but
Yeah.
is your daughter in institutional care or something?
No, I tried to
She's
explain to
normal?
her how remiss she was in feeling badly about this. But anyways,
How old is she?
She's 34.
And she thought Prairie Home Companion was interesting.
It was
and
the
cool.
Writer's Almanac that she liked.
Well, that's not even connected. It's just the same person.
I know.
Starting your day with a poem.
exactly.
That's what
I
it
miss
was.
That
that.
was pretty good, that Writer's
No,
Almanac,
yes,
I must say. Why
that's
doesn't
what it
someone
was.
else do that, I wonder?
Did he own that?
It's in the works.
It is?
Oh,
It's in the
good.
works.
Oh, look at
James,
you!
you
have all
should do it.
kinds of inside scoops.
So I do have to say, from a completely personal and local standpoint, Garrison came twice to New Orleans to do essentially one-man shows of his own accord, with all the house profits going to WWNO post-Katrina back in the day.
So that's a pretty cool thing to do.
So in retrospect, what happened, and what he did, but he also did that as well. So
Well, even a person with bad qualities can do good things. Right?
I
Yes,
think
there-
we can say that about all of us.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
people we could say
Linda
that
is a
about.
mindfulness instructor and coach.
I am,
Right?
in addition to
So
being
you're more
person.
understanding about people than most of us.
You know, apparently not.
Oh, really?
I got
You're
in trouble.
judgmental
I'm
and-
very judgmental, and I'm very black and white, and I label people, and I stereotype. I'm really very
Well,
bad.
then what is the point of doing a whole mindfulness
I think
lifestyle?
I'm going to quit. I'm going to. That's it. I'm done, man.
Maybe you could explain to us, Kelcy, do you know what mindfulness is even?
I
have
know
a
a very
stab at
little
it.
bit about it, not a ton.
What do you think it means?
I think it means concentrating the mind away from outside stimuli.
Okay.
I don't know.
So do I.
That's it. I'm going to quit, and Kelcy is going to take over.
James, do you know what mindfulness is? You're the kind of guy that would know that. No?
I know the term. I don't know what it means.
Didn't you win 5 games of Jeopardy or something?
Yeah, it didn't come up. Yeah. Mindfulness for 800 was not a
Can
thing.
you believe he really did win Jeopardy?
I totally believe
What
it.
did you end up winning? Like a whole bunch of money or what?
About 80 grand with the car?
Are you serious?
James.
You won $80,000.
There was literally a gasp here in the restaurant. There was, yes.
Yes. That is impressive, isn't it?
Very. I'm
Do you know
speechless.
how long it takes us to earn $80,000 in podcast? Would be
Dollars.
3 lifetimes.
Ever?
Yeah, ever? Yeah.
Ever? Never?
That's impressive.
As my father says, Ken Jennings won $2.2 million, but he never did win a car. So
Okay.
I was on in the era when they gave cars after 5 days. So
Really?
yeah,
If
he
you
won-
stuck it out for 5 days, you end up with a car.
Correct.
Well,
Correct.
okay,
Great
so
is that?
you are mindful without even knowing it, I think.
Okay,
for
please-
being so smart.
Explain.
Well, so the common misconception, I think, or misperception is that if you're mindful, or to be mindful, you have to be happy and peaceful and like a yogi all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had friends say to me, that's not very mindful of you, Linda. Or check your mindfulness, when they think I'm being bitchy. And that's
Okay.
not what being mindful is. I mean, I can be bitchy and be mindful, right?
I have no idea because I don't know what it is.
Yes.
What is it?
Okay. So what it is, that's what it's not. What
Is
it
it
is.
being aware that you're being
Yes. Yeah.
and being at peace with
yes,
your
and
bitchiness?
being at peace with your bitchiness, coming to terms with it. I would say it's like living in the moment and kind of what you said about shutting out the outside.
Not necessarily. I didn't really mean shutting it out, but just finding focus within it all.
Yes, exactly. So finding that deep place of stillness and peace within yourself.
Does that actually exist?
When you're in a traffic jam, it does.
It does.
It does for everyone.
It does.
I believe so.
Okay,
Yeah.
James
yeah.
is finding it right now.
Look, he's tapping in.
I'm contemplating.
Contemplate away.
Yeah.
Tell me. Share your thoughts. Share your mindful thoughts.
When you are in a place of, do you refer to as being in a place of mindfulness? Is that the term?
I do not refer to it, and I don't think that's the term. So it came from the
So
Buddhist
wrong.
tradition. You lose.
Big
It comes
red
from the
X.
Buddhist
There goes the
tradition.
car.
It does, yes.
There
And
goes the car.
what? There goes the
What?
car. Yeah, they took it back.
When you say, okay, what Buddhist tradition is that?
Well, John Kabat-Zinn is the founder of mindfulness-based stress reduction.
Hang on, stop right there. John Kabat-Zinn.
Zen. Z-I-N-N.
Okay,
Short for
okay, that
Zinfandel.
would be funny.
A
if
hell
it
of a
was-
coincidence.
Yeah.
Right? That'd be great.
John
What's your name?
Kabat-Zinn.
Zen. John
That
Zen.
sounds like a wine, actually.
I'm so zen.
This is my
Dr.
wife,
Zen.
Eightfold Path.
This is my wife. Okay, that also went over my head.
Eightfold Path. You don't know what the Eightfold Path is? Even I know that.
Oh,
I don't know
Eightfold
shit about
Path.
anything.
Eightfold Path.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to
Yes.
enunciate if you're going to be on
Oh,
the
he's a fucking professional broadcaster.
I'm teasing. James, I'm
These are the
teasing.
jokes. This is what I came
I know,
with.
I
It's
know,
all right.
I know. It's okay. I don't even know where I was.
John Kabat-Zinn.
Oh, yeah. So John Kabat-Zinn worked at UMass Hospital.
Okay.
And doctors started sending him their patients because they couldn't do anything more with these patients who had chronic
Why'd they send him to him?
pain. They said, you are a doctor and a meditator and a Buddhist. Maybe you can do something with these people. The people came. They learned how to meditate and be mindful. Voila, their chronic pain went away. That was 30 years ago.
What does that tell you?
It tells you that reaching into this mindful state and tapping into it and letting go of all your distracting thoughts as best you can actually create new neural pathways in the brain and override the pathways that have been created through
well,
trauma.
Hang on. Is it literally killing the pain, or is it finding pathways around the pain so that you no longer have any stimuli?
That's exactly right. That's exactly
So
it.
it's bypassing the bad part of your brain.
Yes.
That's
And-
what meditation is doing.
Yes. Yeah. And there's tons of science that shows that.
Could you like bypass the bits that have memories of your past marriage?
Yes, absolutely.
Is that right?
I think so. Yeah.
Have you meditated? Do you?
I have. I should do it more regularly, but I don't
How
have a
often
regular
is
practice.
how often is more regular?
I don't have a regular practice.
Do you have
Meditation
to do
practice.
things regularly to
You
I don't
benefit
think
from
so.
it?
You
Do you?
don't. You don't. You
No.
can meditate while you're brushing your teeth. You can be mindful while you're in a traffic jam, like I said earlier, and you take a deep breath. You tap into not how late you're going to be, and not what led you to that busy intersection, but just feeling your body.
We could feel someone else's body, which
That would be even better.
passes the time
I think.
a lot more
That-
quickly.
I
I
think.
actually do enjoy. There's one exercise you can do where you just focus on something, whether it's something you're touching or something you're seeing or something you're hearing, and you just focus deeply on whatever that noise or sight or touch is, and think about that, just that. And like all the questions that you have about it, and all the like, where did this come from? Why is it doing that? All those kinds of things, and it's a really way to calm yourself without.
So one of the
Focusing on the
exercises is
outside.
exactly that. We pass around a raisin, and we have someone
raisin?
raisin
Okay.
around the room, and you feel the raisin, you feel the little ridges,
Okay.
you smell it, you look at it, you rub it on your lip.
Yes, is passing this around?
Well, no, you.
Does everyone have their own raisin?
I
I'm
was-
thinking now.
Is
Let
this
me
a
think.
communal
no,
raisin?
Box of
no,
raisins?
we each have our own raisin. Okay.
Okay, all right. That's a little different.
So you each have your own raison d'etre.
Yeah, we have our. Oh, James,
That's a good one.
that really is.
Intense.
Yeah.
It really isn't.
No, actually, it was good. Again, I'm speechless.
Okay,
I just-
finish
Okay,
the
so then you
raisin.
eat the raisin, and now from now on, you look at raisins in a whole new way because you've experienced the essence of the raisin,
The raisinness.
the raisinness, the very
Of it all.
essential.
I feel like Lorraine Hansberry.
Yes.
Who's that?
She wrote A Raisin in the Sun.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any more raisin jokes before we move on, Kelcy?
No, but I do. I learned from my grandmother that a spoonful of gin-soaked white raisins a day is good for arthritis.
Boom. My mother.
It's like we're kindred spirits.
Hang on.
Totally.
Gin-soaked raisins will cure arthritis.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can...
Or just give you an
You
excuse to
won't
take a
mind
shot
the
of gin
arthritis.
once
Maybe
a day.
they form some different neural pathway in the brain
Yeah.
with the raisins.
They actually taste really good.
Okay, so check this out. It says about Kelcy Mae, who's... You have a new band called Evermore Nest, I see here.
Correct.
Okay, this is what they told me about you. It says...
Who is they?
I don't know where this came from. Graham
Love it.
DePonte, our producer, or Christian Unruh gave this to me, actually. It says that you traveled to Tennessee, experienced totality, met your spirit guide, and made a record.
That is all true.
Should we go through those one at a time?
I love it.
I'm a
Love it.
professional
Is there the
interviewer.
actual
Excited
sequence
about
of...
the totality.
It is the actual sequence.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, totality meaning what?
The eclipse, August 25th of last year. Nashville was in the line of totality, meaning that it was completely dark. Like,
So
the
you
sun
went-
was completely blocked.
So you went to Nashville to make a record,
Correct.
and you happened to
And
be there when
the
it was the
day
eclipse?
we started recording was the day of the eclipse.
By
and so we,
design or by chance?
No, by chance.
Wow.
So we took a little break, and then I went with my producer, Nielsen Hubbard, who's a photographer, and we went and set up on top of an interstate overpass, and it was a beautiful view of the skyline of the city, and got to experience the whole thing, which was totally wild. I mean, it's like 2 minutes of darkness in the middle of daytime, and the birds were flying like just chaotic, like
Freaking out.
swooping, and I mean, the birds were incredible.
And you were on a highway overpass? Mm-hmm.
Which was a bridge. I mean, it was a.
Right. With other people up
I
there
think
too?
Nielsen thought that people might stop their cars, and he thought that would be a cool shot to get, more so than the actual sun itself.
Sort of
which they didn't
apocalyptic.
do.
They didn't?
No, and everyone kept driving. And
They
there was-
drove in the dark? Well, yeah,
Really?
you can
Well, it
drive
was just
in the
like
dark.
nighttime,
Never mind.
People are
Headlights or
that
things.
blasé that they just turned their lights on and drove
Yeah,
right through it.
totally.
Wouldn't you think you'd want to stop
I
and
know.
see that once in every 300 years or whatever it is?
It was pretty cool. So that
Yeah. So
was the day.
that was the day
that
you
was the beginning
started
of the trip.
recording.
That was the day we started
So
recording.
are you paying for studio time while you're out there?
No, we took a. Well, yeah, I guess I was. I mean, I was paying for a full day, and we still got a full day of recording in. But
I guess only 2 minutes out.
Yeah.
So did that
Okay.
inform your... I'm sorry for jumping
No,
in.
you're a professional interviewer, aren't
Well,
you?
did that inform your recording? It must have.
I think so. How could it not have? I mean, not in some sort of literal way, but it sort of felt cosmically blessed, you could say, or, I don't know.
Yeah.
What's your
That was
opinion,
pretty-
Linda?
Oh,
Could it-
absolutely. I think it's probably richer and deeper and
Mm-hmm.
more, something.
I'm pretty excited about it. That's for sure. It won't be out for a while, but I can't wait for people to hear
But
it.
it's finished.
It's
okay.
totally finished.
What's it called? It's called
The place that you call home.
The place that you call home. Mm-hmm. And the band, it's not under your name anymore. There's a band.
Correct. I'm changing. This is a new project, so it's a little bit of a new sound. It's new arrangement, new band members, and
Wow. What happened to
yeah.
the last band members? Do you have to fire
well,
everybody?
some of them are still around.
Okay.
They're all still around.
But so who's the new band? Puddin'?
It depends. It depends
Really?
on the shows and who can be available. Puddin' is still
Puddin's in it?
in the band. Puddin' is my wife, Lucy.
Aw,
Puddin' is
cute.
that was like the very first show
That
I
was
was
the
on.
first
We
show
were
you were
talking
on,
about
you were
how
dating
Google
her.
can change your name. Like, but if you put somebody's nickname in, it'll change it in their email. It's complicated.
I understand.
know
I think
that.
I understand.
But Lucy became known as Puddin'.
Love it.
Thanks to Google.
Love.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's- that has that
and
name's-
Adam Everett plays drums with me. Derek Duplessis plays pedal steel. Rebecca Crenshaw plays violin.
So you have pedal steel in there. That's
yes,
nice.
I'm really
okay.
excited about the addition of pedal
That
steel.
changes the whole thing.
Yeah, it does.
So you've gone sort of Americana-y type.
Yes,
Wow.
officially.
How cool is that? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're in the sort of Lucinda Williams world?
Yeah, I
or?
hope so. I would
Wow.
love to be.
Okay, yeah.
A
that
couple
wouldn't be a
of the
bad
folks
place.
that played with me on the record in Nashville tour regularly with Emmylou Harris, which is just like my
So
idol.
you're in-
So yeah,
you're in a whole new league
Just a little
now.
bit closer to stardom.
You want to play something?
Sure.
Okay, and then we're going to get back to, after we come back, we're going to talk about your
I'll
spirit
take off my
guide.
jacket,
Should we
'cause
do
I'm
the
getting-
spirit guide conversation now?
No,
Either
You
way.
guys-
I want to
you
hear
guys-
music.
Either way.
You want to hear some music?
I wanna
Okay.
hear
All right.
music.
Okay. What is on my glasses? Anybody see this?
I
Can
don't
you see anything?
honey.
It's,
Yeah,
am I
you're
imagining it?
You're fine.
It's like a fly.
So this tune
Yes.
kind of goes with the cosmic theme.
Okay.
I'm scared I'm gonna pull everything
Yeah, don't
over
worry.
here.
No,
I think you're all set.
I'm gonna hang this here. I don't know if that's gonna work.
let's see if we can hear the guitar first of all.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
I hear it.
Yeah, we got it.
So this song is on the record. It's called Major Tom. Obviously a reference to Bowie classic. Sometimes we listen when we pray. Sometimes we don't have words to say. They say God speaks in mysterious ways. I just shut my mouth and watch the ocean waves. Your lips are cruel when they kiss. I work my way like Sisyphus, but you rule this rock with an iron fist. It don't matter much to me, I kinda like it like this. I know nothing but what I know. This world done lost me long time ago. I feel like Major Tom. I feel like Major Tom, out of control. So I search the stars for a sign. I'm asking questions all the time. But this world, it's a circle. No, it ain't no line. And I'm back where I started, but I'm doing alright. Yeah, I'm back where I started, but I'm doing alright. I might be where I started, but I'm doing alright. I know nothing but what I know. And this world done lost me long time ago. I feel like Major Tom. I feel like Major Tom, out of control. I know nothing but what I know. And this world that lost me long time ago. Major Tom. I feel like Major Tom. I feel like Major Tom, letting go, letting go, letting go.
Goodness, okay.
Thank you.
Well, what did you think?
Oh, I just loved it, and I love the Sisyphus and rock reference.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to get the word Sisyphus into a song.
Sisyphus, right?
So you're a
She did it.
professional
It is.
interviewer of musicians and people who make music.
I am.
on the radio in San
That was
Francisco.
great.
Yeah.
So what would your first question to Kelcy be?
Tell me where you were when you wrote that, and what inspired the Major Tom reference.
I don't remember exactly how Major Tom popped into my head, but it was November, I think, of 2016, which was right when the world started getting really fucking weird, especially here in the United States. Well, it was like well on its way, but like I feel like now it's just totally bizarre. It's
It
just
reached
like
the point.
I don't think I could have imagined in November of 2016 what
None of us could.
March or April of 2018 would be like. But I think I was just feeling like a little bit. This was before I had before I got pulled to Nashville to work with the people I was working with on the record, and so I really didn't know what I was doing or where I was supposed to be or what I was supposed to be writing. I don't know, somehow that was one of those songs that just came out in a second. Some songs take you weeks, months, years to write, and that one came out in probably about 15, 20 minutes.
And that was something you were feeling, that you were out of control.
Just like, I felt like I had no
The
control
world
of
was out
anything.
of control, you were.
I felt like everything was out of
Everything.
control. I felt
Not
like the
just-
world's out of control. I felt like my life was, not out of control, but just like I didn't have control. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it
It's the
does.
opposite of mindfulness.
Well, no, not necessarily, because it sounds to me like you were in the zone. There's some songs that are written almost without you trying, it seems, that just come to you. And I think they come from the universe, and they come like almost perfectly formed right away. And that sounds like that was the case with this one. Other ones you have to struggle and rewrite and work on.
Well, and the part of what was meaningful to me during writing that song was the last line, which is letting go. Like in the Bowie song, Major Tom eventually he says goodbye. He lets go and he floats off into space. And so to me, that's kind of what I felt like. I'm just like, okay, world, I'm giving up. I'm letting go, and we're just gonna see what happens. And that turned out to be a really good decision, a really good
So
move
when
for
you
me.
stopped trying to control things in your own life, things got better.
I guess. I don't know. I think it depends
there-
on the person
is that the
and
lesson?
where they are. I don't know. It was for me that day.
They talk about it with athletes also having the same thing to do with musicians, that there is that sense of being in the zone or having momentum or that creative instinct where you think you're just kind of a little bit outside of yourself, and where is this great content coming from? And the more you try not to think about it, the better it can be sometimes. It's a tough act,
Yeah.
balancing wise.
The follow-up question that I would ask if I were an interviewer
You are.
is, who are some of your influences?
That is all over the place.
Jesus.
Bowie.
I grew up listening to the Beatles, and so they were a major influence on me. I also, as we discussed earlier, have a background in poetry, so a lot of my lyricism comes from that background. And so, when I was coming of age, writers like Tori Amos or like Counting Crows back in the 90s.
Well, what happened to those guys? What happened to Tori Amos? Is she still around?
She's still around.
Yeah, she is. She
James, do you
just
know?
played here
She
recently.
just performed at the Sanger last year.
Thank you.
Okay.
Or not,
And
it
what
was,
about Adam
Mahalia
Duras
Jackson.
from Counting Crows? What happened to him?
He's still around. He's still doing
still
some
going?
stuff. I think that
He used to be here a lot. You used to see him
I
around.
saw
think-
him many years ago at a bar in the French Quarter. I thought I died and gone to heaven. I was like, oh my God, a famous person.
He spent a lot of time here in New Orleans back in the day when they were actually.
yeah, they would play a
huge,
secret
but-
show every I don't
He
remember if
loved
it was
it.
Jazz
He's-
Fest or Voodoo Fest, but they would come into town and they would play a
Right.
secret show at the Shim Sham Club,
Shim Sham.
which is now
I
One
wanna
Eye
go
Jacks.
there.
Okay.
But
You would have thought at some point he would have counted all the crows and had to sort of move on to the next stage
See,
of his
this
life.
this is what we were waiting for, James. Come on, man. Come on.
I'll have another Diet Coke.
Have another drink. Okay, listen. So we're moving along here. We're on to the next part of the sentence, Kelcy,
Oh,
which was
okay.
going to be talking about your spirit guide.
right, so I was
Okay, so
staying.
how'd that happen?
I was staying with a good friend of mine who I used to tour with, a songwriter by the name of Jeffrey Lewis Koch. And he had started going to this empath group, a group of people who would meet, I don't know if it was weekly or monthly, but people who have the abilities to maybe communicate outside of the physical realm.
Okay.
And I was
How do
invited,
you-
and
how do
I
you
was like,
find-
okay, I don't.
You were invited along.
I was invited. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know, and I don't know enough about this this world to really speak about it eloquently or intelligently. But I was invited to just go, and I'm open-minded, so I thought, yeah, this would be fun. And so one of the members of the group was usually they would have somebody would lead a discussion on a topic, and then that was just the meeting. But for this particular night, they led a discussion on spirit guides and spirit animals, and then led a group meditation, which is not something they would normally do. But I just happened
You
to be
just got
there,
lucky.
and here
You're
I
on there on
am.
the right
Yeah,
night.
so
Okay.
so
This
I
is in-
participated in
where
this
is
group
this?
meditation. This is in Nashville.
Nashville.
And so in the meditation, you can either go up like a hill or a mountain or something to find your spirit guide, or you can go down, as in down into a canyon or water to find your spirit animal. And you're given the choice. And I was kind of hoping that maybe I would encounter an ancestor or a family member that passed when I was young. So I chose to go the spirit guide route because sometimes you can have family members or ancestors. It doesn't have to be. And so I did that experience, and it was not a family member at all. It's kind of a long story, but
Were there any drugs involved with this at this point?
no, this was purely mindful meditation.
There's
Mindful
There's a bunch of
meditation,
people
and it.
sitting around in Nashville.
Well, and so how did he guide you? Like, did he just
Why do you say he?
the person?
It,
how did-
it was a he,
It
but
was.
there
Okay,
were
well,
all
it's
kinds of.
50-50 on
I'm
that
very empathic.
I appreciate the question though, because assumptions.
Yeah,
Okay.
no
You know how
assumptions.
that goes.
Sorry. So did he say, now choose whether you want a spirit guide or choose whether you want an animal? And I mean, how?
Well, everyone has spirit guides and spirit animals, and so it was just about
Do you have, James, do you have a spirit animal?
whichever one you wanted to
I'll have to check
experience
when I get
that,
home.
meet with,
Do you have an
or
emotional spirit
see.
animal or just a regular? Sorry, go. Okay.
oh no, it's
So-
fine.
So you what do you say you're doing a group meditation? Is there any audio? Is someone leading this, saying
Someone
where
is
you're getting
leading the
sleepy or
meditation,
something?
describing what you're doing.
What does that sound like, the description?
It's probably directional. You're looking around, you're feeling the wind,
Okay.
because you're outdoors in this meditation in your mind.
Oh, okay.
So they were just giving you some,
Right.
some ways to envision yourself
Ooh,
in this
I
physical
love
space.
this. I love this. I'm so excited.
And so they would say, and now you choose to either go up the path or down the path. And then the meditation continued, and there was some music playing to keep you kind of centered
All right.
and calm. And
And then you
I
found
went up
your
into the woods, and I
you
met
found
my
your
spirit
spirit
guide, or at least one of them.
And who is it? What's his name?
What's with the he's?
Oh, you said he was a he.
You did,
No,
yeah.
no, not.
You
I thought you were
did.
saying my spirit, not my spirit guide. That's the interesting part. I thought you were saying the group leader or the person who was leading the discussion.
Oh, no, I'm talking about your spirit
This
guide.
Sorry, no, I misunderstood.
He is a he, the spirit guide.
No, the spirit guide had no gender
Oh, okay.
because, the spirit guide was a child, and the child was so lit by the sun behind them that I never actually could see their face. And children are,
Whoa.
sort of genderless in that sort of way when you can't see them and they're not.
Was he wearing blue or pink?
I don't know. So the child was in a tree and invited me to climb the tree. And so I just I could see their little feet swinging, and we just had this moment of, it was just all light and beauty and calm and peace, and it was incredibly moving.
Wow.
And
Did you
I mean,
cry?
I did.
I
I was
bet.
I was weeping in the middle of this
Wow.
this room in Nashville. It was pretty random, but it was very moving and meaningful and unexpected. I'll
What
say that.
the-
It was very unexpected.
Other than the moving aspect of it and the sort of strangeness, what did you take away from it? Was there a message or information or?
I think the message was that I'm okay. This is good. Where I'm at, what I'm doing. This is a good place to be.
So it was
Okay.
like confirmation or
I
affirmation.
think so. I mean, it was probably more than that. There was a lot of peace in that moment.
It's beautiful.
Did it change your life at all?
I think so.
Here's my question, Kelcy. Have you gone back to ask the child for help?
Thomas.
I have not. No, I did do another meditation here in New Orleans, over at Rosalie Apothecary, they do some really cool classes and workshops. And I encountered a different sort of higher self.
Wonder if it was your child.
I have no idea. The people in the group, because some of us shared, and I was sitting there with tears in my eyes, so people were curious about what I'd experienced. So I shared what I'd experienced, and some of them mentioned that it could be, it could have been a cherub, it could have been an angel, like a guardian angel, it could have been Christ, because
Christ himself.
Could have been.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely sure.
Can I just say, I love sitting here. What, James?
James is just sitting so quietly.
He's gonna make a really bad pun. I know he is.
No, I'm contemplating again.
Okay, contemplate away. I love sitting here at Wayfare and talking about spirit guides and totality and this
cocktail.
esoteric stuff over a cocktail.
Right.
And people are not even paying attention to us.
Well, it's New Orleans.
It's New Orleans, but here we have this fabulous music. We've got headphones on. There's all kinds of wires, and nobody's giving us a second glance.
Nobody gives a shit
Isn't
about
that great?
anybody.
Don't you love that?
That is one of the great things about New Orleans, I must say. You can
Seriously.
do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And no one's going to be interested or judgmental
Just
about that.
coming out of Easter weekend here, they were showing a lot of the Easter-themed films and things on a certain theme on the movie channels. There's a movie called Barabbas, Anthony Quinn. They were in Rome filming this. I'm going to guess on the date, or 1960, 61, 62, something like that.
He was one of the bad disciples.
And while they were filming there in Rome, there was an eclipse, and they decided to film it. And obviously the film stock that was available in the early 60s doesn't exactly do it justice, but there is a color of the sky, and this is, of course, decades before CGI or anything like that would come along, and it's just remarkable to see. And you can see this has a physical effect on the actors in the scene.
Oh,
and
really?
it's just really remarkable. It's
Cool.
towards the end, but
check
if
it
you have
out.
a chance to see it, yeah.
That sounds awesome.
It's called Barabbas.
Barabbas. Anthony Quinn, yeah.
Okay.
I love
Yeah.
Anthony Quinn.
So you're still watching TV in your off hours, James?
Absolutely. I'm pretty basic. It's news and ESPN and classic movies. And I talked to Thomas right before we started today. Oh, there's a scene from
good job.
from Barabbas.
Sazerac found it.
Nice.
Look, beautiful.
Boom.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
That's gorgeous. What do you mean still watching TV?
Well,
There's
most-
different ways of
Most people
consuming
have given
content.
up TV
Yeah.
now. Do you still have a TV?
Yeah, I watch it all the time.
Do you?
Yeah.
All the time? What do you watch?
Not all the
mostly?
time. Dr. Phil is my guilty secret.
Dr. Phil, is he still going?
Yes.
What is he a doctor of? Isn't that
Holy
like
shit.
botany or something?
No.
I'd be surprised if he was a doctor of anything.
And Judge Judy.
No, you need to get rid of that zero and get yourself a hero.
Get one.
And that's only slightly less interesting than the
Wow.
actual show is.
And Judge Judy.
Judge Judy,
Oh,
what?
God.
That's also still going, which is
Honey, aim higher,
I-
really,
no,
honestly.
I abide by Judge Judy is very serious and she's very black and white. I already said I was very judgmental, so it's perfect for me.
Oh, boy.
What is it
I
you like
know.
about it? Is it the?
She can tell when people are lying or not.
Can you?
No, absolutely. Would I have 6 ex-boyfriends if I could?
I didn't know you had 6
Fucking-
ex-boyfriends.
And here they are right now. We
I
invite them
know.
all
Yeah,
here.
look who's here.
Fuckers.
Talking of which, where is Andrew, by the way?
I,
Andrew Duhon is supposed to have been here
don't
like
look
a
at
half
me.
hour ago.
I
Sometimes
don't
he
even
is
know who
late,
that
but this
is.
is this is pretty late for Andrew. He's my co-host.
He's okay.
So,
Well,
would be good if
you
he
know.
showed
I
up.
think we're
wonder
all
what
holding
happened.
up our
I think
respective
we are.
ends.
Well,
Yeah.
I
so.
think we're
We're doing
doing
all
fine
right.
without him, but anyway. So when you say 6 ex-boyfriends,
There's probably more.
there's probably more.
Yeah, if I stop to count, my dear.
Well, why did you pick on 6? Was it just a random number that just came to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It seemed like a manageable.
Who
know.
is that one of them right there walking past?
Oh, stop
Who
it.
was the last one?
You're so mean. My last one was a fellow named Chris.
Chris.
Who was the life of the party. Turns out that he was an alcoholic. And I thought he was a social drinker. And the reason that he was the life of the party is because he was always half in the bag. And he was emotionally stunted and stopped at 16 years old. Do you know what I mean?
Do I know what you mean? Or do I have to know what that means?
No,
Not
you don't.
Exactly.
No, you don't.
What is it?
Everybody's kind of looking at me like,
How long were you dating?
We were together for 2 years.
Was he 16?
He was 16 during 2 years.
No, he
You
was
were okay with that?
emotionally.
He was 18
All
at the
right,
end.
No,
I'm
that's
not
what I-
even
Come on now,
gonna.
keep up.
It took you.
I'm not even gonna
It
talk
took you
anymore.
2 years to figure out that the
I
guy.
meant
Okay,
emotionally. I meant that you put up with an emotional,
Oh, that's a nice way
emotionally
of putting it.
16-year-old man for 2
I
years.
did.
I was thinking
I
that you
did.
must be pretty slow off the mark to take 2 years to
Well-
figure out a guy's an alcoholic
Y'all.
and
There
emotionally
was
16.
clearly
Kinda
something
mean.
because you're a put together kind of gal.
Thank you.
There is certainly something that was appealing and attractive
Thank
to him.
you, James.
Agreed.
Well, not arguing about that, but why did it take you so long? Were you scared to get rid of him because you thought maybe there wouldn't be anyone better out there?
That was part of it for sure. Yeah, he was handsome. He had a great job. He was funny. He was charming. He was and as
He's got a
most
lot going for him already.
alcoholics are, very charming
Right.
and like I said, life of the party. And
This is here in New Orleans, I assume.
no, actually, it was in
You
California.
don't meet that many good alcoholics in California. Why didn't he move here?
Well,
What do you mean a good alcoholic?
Well, people who really like to drink and have a good time, they end up here.
Here was the clue. We had to have beer. He had beer, one beer each, a can of beer each in his pocket when we were on the ski lift going skiing at 11 in the morning. That should have been a tip-off.
Well, I don't go skiing, but do you go skiing, Kelcy? I wouldn't know whether
No,
that's abnormal.
I grew up in Louisiana. I haven't had a lot
Right.
of opportunities
James,
to
you
do
go
that.
skiing?
But I mean, if I was going water skiing, I'd probably have two
Yeah,
beers.
I'd say that sounds
Two beers.
okay.
I am back at the cabin having hot chocolate, feet up, watching Sports Center
Yeah.
while everybody else is out breaking their legs. No, I'm fine.
Are you a skier,
Check with
actually,
me. I'll be
Linda?
in the game room.
I
Yeah.
am, yes.
So you're like an outdoorsy type.
I'm very outdoorsy. Yeah, I'm a California hippie.
Really?
Is what I am.
Okay. So you grew up in San Francisco?
I did not. I grew up in Montreal, Canada, and
Oh,
then
really?
I moved to California to attend college. And I thought I was going to San Francisco State, where everybody was protesting, and it turned out that I was going to University of San Francisco, which was Jesuit. So
Big difference?
huge difference.
You mean you signed up for the wrong college by mistake?
My mother signed me up?
Is that right?
Yeah.
I've never heard that story before. You went to the wrong college by mistake.
Well,
Has anyone ever told you that? Other than
you know, I'm feeling
That doesn't
very
sound like a
less
mistake, though.
than right now.
Really?
Yes.
This is
To
a
me, it
tough
doesn't sound
audience,
like a
this
mistake.
show.
To me, it sounds like the universal path
Ah,
for
nice.
you. It was just meant to be.
I met a very nice boyfriend there. So
Okay,
he
that was
a-
number one.
He was a good guy. He was number
I'm
one.
going to
My
write
college,
this down on the
my
tablecloth
college
here.
He was
boyfriend.
not a Jesuit.
He was not a Jesuit, but he was Catholic, as am I.
Okay.
And we traveled around Europe together on $800 for a year.
Gee, that's a pretty good deal. That was at 1963 or something.
That was like in the prehistoric
Yeah, it
Jurassic
sounds like it might have been
period.
before currency was invented.
Yeah, it was.
What,
we used
um,
stones, Sisyphus's stones.
Sisyphus. What was the dude's
Nice
name?
callback.
Number one.
I'm sorry,
What was his name? Number one.
Philip.
Philip. Okay, so
Philip?
I'm writing this down. Philip was number one.
Yes, and he's
Okay.
actually an attorney now, and
Oh,
I
he's an
and I
attorney.
feel
I'll
like I
write
should have
that down.
stuck with him. I really do.
Oh God, where is he today? Have
Is
you
he not,
spoken to
can you
him?
not get back in touch?
He's
Yeah.
married.
Oh, big deal.
Yeah, I know, right?
Is he happy?
Since when does that? Probably not.
Have you tried to get in touch with him on
No,
Facebook?
should I?
Yes.
Give me my
Searock
phone.
can
Come
get
on.
Searock can find him for you in about 10 seconds.
Find him, Philip Snell, SNELL.
Snell.
Take a picture, pull
Where does
him
he
up,
live
and
now?
let's San
Philip
Rafael.
Snell.
Yeah, look him up.
Okay, let's find
see.
him. Okay, that didn't.
I went out with a really cute one who I looked up on Facebook. He's married also, but he was
What's his name?
Fred Krall.
Fred Krall.
Krall. And he is a physicist, and
Wow.
and his wife is gorgeous and like a rocker and all tattoos and like fabulous looking. I was so jealous.
Sounds
And
like an interesting couple.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mr. and Mrs.
Talk
Kroll,
about
the
your
physicist.
exes. Get me off the hook
Hang
here,
on,
James.
number two. I've got four.
No,
No,
jeez,
he's
please.
making notes here
I've
on
got,
the table.
I've got number
God.
one is Philip the attorney. Number two is Fred Kroll, the physicist. And number six is Chris.
I'm still stuck on
The
why I went to the
alcoholic.
wrong college.
That is very interesting.
I know. I'm so embarrassed.
I'm
Why didn't
noticing
you
a gap there between 3 and
We've got 3, 4, and 5 to
Did
go.
you have a good college experience though?
I dropped out
Okay.
after 2
You
years.
dropped out of the Jesuits.
I did because it was awful. I hated it. It was horrible.
Why didn't you just transfer to the other school where
Could
they were all
have.
smoking weed?
Could have, but instead I went to Europe
Ah, well, that's
With
good too.
$800.
Yeah.
With Philip Snell.
with Philip Snell.
So with $800.
Oh God,
So that worked out pretty good then.
I see a lawsuit in my future. No, can anybody talk about their exes or their current
Ah,
partners, please?
well,
You're
Why
doing really well on your
No.
own.
Why didn't you
Yeah.
use these new neural pathways to?
Did I even freaking know about that
Shortcut
then?
through all
I
these.
was a mess.
So
I
can't
was
we
a
do it now?
hippie and I was doing drugs and then I quickly
What kind of-
segued into sex, drugs, rock and roll because I lived in the Haight-Ashbury. Boom.
Yeah.
Done talking about me.
Love it.
That sounds great. Are you still doing any of those?
Yes, and I will not say which one.
You're only doing one out of the three. Sex,
know,
drugs,
it's
and
such a
rock and roll.
bummer.
What were you doing back in the day?
Of drugs?
Yeah.
Seabright,
All of
good
them?
What
question.
if my mother might listen to this?
Well,
I'm not
there's
Is
gonna.
she still
statute
alive?
of
Is your mom still
limitations.
alive?
Yes, my mom is still.
That's
Jesus
awesome.
Christ,
How
I'm
old
not
is-
that freaking
How
old.
well, you,
Sorry.
Well, you went around Europe for $800 for a year. You must be pretty old.
Can somebody
how
else
old-
talk,
How old
please?
is your How
Let's
old
get
is your
another
mom?
mojito going over here.
Oh
Good
my
idea.
God.
How old is your mom?
My mother is 85. Bless her heart.
85. That's pretty good.
Yes. So
What-
stop
Where does
doing the
she live?
numbers.
Okay.
Put the pen away. Stop subtracting. She lives
okay.
in South Lake Tahoe, and
Ooh,
I have a big
beautiful.
crackling in my headphones.
All right.
And
Well, this is not KCBR.
what did this gentleman ask me? This young fellow?
He was asking what drugs you were doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
So
I
I-
think we can guess. Mushrooms. Oh, did you do any Quaaludes?
Yes.
See, Quaaludes are awesome. I don't know why we can't get those.
I know. I love Quaaludes.
That was the best drug of all
It
time.
really
Go to
was.
South Africa.
Do you
Is that where they are?
really?
Seabright?
Still legal.
Oh my God.
Still legal
Have
in
you ever
South
done
Africa.
Quaaludes?
Do they still
Have you?
manufacture them?
I
I mean,
guess.
Quaalude was a brand name, right?
It was.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it was made by a drug company.
Well,
I mean,
he
it was
says they still have them in
Seabright
South
knows a
Africa.
lot about it.
Dude, I'm going.
What's up,
Joburg.
Seabright? Is that right? Johannesburg, you can go to South Africa and get a prescription.
I've never done them, but I know people who brought them back.
Oh, right.
And you never
I'm
tried
so
them?
sure. Oh, I've never done them.
Can we?
No.
Can you get a hold
now?
of?
It's like a gem now. Like,
Totally.
you have to,
Totally. Oh my God.
Well, can you get a hold of some for us?
I would split one with you,
Probably
like right
not.
now. Just
yeah,
kidding.
you would have a whole
I'm
one.
just
You
gonna
have
put
to
the beers
split
in
it.
You're
our
not
pockets.
just kidding.
If we can get one, how much you reckon they are, Seabright?
God, killing me. How much
I
time
mean,
do
probably
we have
street
left?
price in South America, you know. Or
Wait,
South
I'm
Africa.
South
sorry.
Africa.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
thought you
sorry.
said. So, James.
But
how-
you don't
how-
need street prices. You
No,
can
no,
get a
no, no,
prescription.
no, no, no. We're so completely still on you at this point.
Okay. Okay. So I didn't. Here's what I did. I smoked hash because.
That's good.
I-
Shall I write this down as well?
You can. You can
Okay,
write all that down.
hash,
I don't even care. at
Quaaludes.
this
I can't
point.
spell Quaaludes.
We did uppers and downers.
What's an upper?
Oh,
What exactly?
Mr. Innocent
What
over
exactly
here.
is that?
Like
Mr.
amphetamines, right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Like crystal meth or something?
No,
No,
they didn't
not
have
like
crystal
crystal
meth
meth.
in those days. They were called black beauties. Hello, can I get a holler for a black beauty?
Black
Wow.
beauty. What does it do?
What?
What was that designed to do? If it
Talk
was,
a lot.
Run slowly on the beach with a
Okay.
boy. Oh, that's the movie. Okay.
But that was a drug that was also made by a drug manufacturer for real, right?
Yes, and I don't know
And
what
what
the
was the
drug
intention of it?
name of it is. It's probably for kids who had ADD or something. I don't know.
was
But
back-
if I was on a
we
black
didn't
beauty
have
right
ADD.
now, I would like talk nonstop and never let you guys talk.
Okay, so it's like the cocaine.
I think I've been on this show when there have been people who had black beauties
Word.
on
we
this
used
show.
to hand those out.
That explains so much.
Right?
Okay, so you were on the hash Quaaludes Black Beauty. Mm-hmm.
Coke.
cocaine.
I mean, I'll never let my mother listen to this.
I switched to
promise you.
Diet Coke.
How's her hearing, by the way, with her 85 years old?
Oh, her hearing is
She's in good shape.
terrible.
It's bad, so
No.
don't worry about that. So what does she do in Lake Tahoe?
She
She got a nice spot there. Can you,
she does. You can go anytime you want.
is that right?
Yeah. Go.
hear that?
She'd be happy to have
Okay.
you.
I noted that.
Yeah,
Okay.
y'all can go. She
Immediately.
would
She
cook
sounds
for
nice.
you. Look at, she lives
She
by
cooks?
herself. She has 2 fridges. One in the back
Milk
to
and meat?
stock up.
Is she kosher?
Every
She's
grandmother
not- I'm not Jewish,
or
my
mother
darling.
has.
So what?
Right?
Your
Has
mother
two
has 2
fridges.
There's a
fridges.
freezer.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You too?
Why does your mom have 2 fridges?
I storage. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I guess.
What kind of person needs so much food that they have
Thank
to have
you.
2 fridges?
I don't know.
Thank you.
I don't know. But
And then,
it's
and then,
a thing.
and then I call her and I go, Mom, I called you and you weren't home. She goes, Yeah, I was out shopping for groceries. I'm like, Oh my God,
she's
you
got
could
2
have the
fucking fridges.
apocalypse,
Well,
and you would survive for
maybe
a
if
year
you
in your
were-
house.
Maybe
if you were like canning and stuff, maybe you would want to.
Maybe
which,
there's like
you
mental
know.
problems going on here with
I
someone.
don't
Look,
do that,
here's,
so I don't have.
here's the awesome thing about my mother. If you go visit and stay with her, you'll see.
let's.
She'll say, "What do you want for dinner?" And without batting it, and you'll say, "Well, I want coq au vin." And she'll
Into
say,
the freezer.
Okay, and so pull out a chicken, pull out the wine, pull out the da, and 30 minutes later you can have
So
that.
she's like a chef.
Yeah,
Which,
yeah.
which
yeah.
side of Tahoe is she on?
She's on the South Shore.
Okay.
You know a bit about Tahoe, Joe?
There's that weird, surreal bit of Americana when you're driving in sort of from the fishing camps and the small communities on the California side, and you get to the Nevada side, and it's like literally on the other side of the intersection is 28-story high casino and lights, and then you turn around and look at the California side, and it's like bait and tackle shops.
Right.
It's literally all or nothing as you cross the state line.
And you'll find my mom there at the blackjack table.
Oh, really?
So Mom's a gambler and a chef.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, she's sounding pretty good.
She is.
And
She's
she's
awesome.
single or what?
She is,
Things are picking
what do
up.
you call it, widowed.
What do you call it? All right. Okay. Well, she sounds like a pretty fun person to hang out with.
Yeah, you can go. I can set you guys up.
All right, that
I don't know
sounds
your
good. 85.
marital status.
Well, I'm not. I'm looking for an older woman.
There you go. Boom.
So
She's
I'm
got
in.
3 properties, and yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
I do not.
You're the only child, and your mom has 3 properties total.
Yeah, I'm very.
What are they? What are these 3 properties? I want to write that down as well.
One in Santa Cruz. Have you been to
She's
Santa
got
Cruz,
a place
James?
in Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Through it, not to it. Yeah.
believe
Okay.
this? Mom sounds
Charming,
pretty good.
charming
I want to go
town.
meet Mom.
Hey, Kelcy, do you have another song for us before we
Please,
go?
God. in
Mom,
heaven.
that's a good idea.
Oh,
What's your mom's name?
Jenny.
Jenny.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Sazerac, did we find Philip Snell, the attorney?
No, wrong age.
What do you mean?
I mean, I found a Philip Snell, but
But not
too young.
too young
Really?
to be the guy we're
Yeah.
looking for.
Oh, wait,
Well,
wasn't he
just
16? No,
try
wait, that was
LinkedIn.
Chris.
Exactly.
I know he's on Facebook.
You know he's on Facebook.
I do. I see
I
him
could
on
try
there.
Fred Crawl.
See?
Yeah,
Rock.
pull up Fred because he's so handsome and cute.
But Linda says he's definitely on Facebook. How could you
Swedish.
not find him of all people?
Maybe he went off.
Some
You
weird
never know.
some weird old people don't upload pictures of their
Hey
faces
now.
on
Hey
Facebook.
now.
It's like
Hey
a
now.
What is it
You
a
see,
picture
I'm
of?
getting it from the host.
it's
I
like a
didn't know I had to
dog
get it
or
from
like
you
a
too.
beachfront or something.
Oh my God.
Okay, so Philip Snell's not.
Weird old people. How are you
Well, not
doing
you,
me like
not
this?
you, but he's saying that Philip Snell is a weird
well,
old person.
by association, he's saying he's old like me. Anyway, Kelcy, go.
Kelsey, what are you playing?
So, I'm going to play a song called So Low, which I feel like is where we might all end up if we
Already,
just kept going.
already
That's
did.
LOW.
If we kept going down this
Already
road.
did.
This will also be on the new record. Where'd the night go? How'd we get so low? Where'd the night go? How'd we get so low? I feel my words wrapped around your throat. I find my hands in the pockets of my coat. Slam that bottle down. Make a swift move with a lonesome sound. I see you running, but my legs won't move. A concrete statue on an old bar stool. Oh, I've heard this story before. Seen the light on over the door. Watched the movie and wrote the score. Tell me now, will you return? I don't have much patience to burn, and these tables, they don't turn. Every statue comes tumbling down, and every last call is a thorn on this ground. Come on, baby, let me bring you home. There ain't no sense in sitting here alone. and these tables, they don't turn. Tell me now, will you return? I don't have much patience to burn, and these tables never turn.
Hey, so beautiful.
Thank you.
Off the new album, which is called
Place that you call home.
The Place That You Call Home, and the band is called Evermore Nest, which is a very difficult name to remember, isn't it, Linda?
No.
Not at all.
Not
okay.
at all.
James, is it difficult to remember or
I've got
not?
it.
You got it?
I've got it.
Evermore Nest.
Yeah.
So, James, you're an announcer on a classical music station.
Yes.
So this is what I've always wondered, because I've worked on music stations a lot.
Okay.
But they're rock stations.
Okay.
So the songs are 2, 3, sometimes 4 minutes long if you're lucky. And every 2, 3, or 4 minutes you have to do something. You got to punch a button, or you got to play another song, or play a commercial, or talk, or something. But a classical station, the songs are like 20 minutes long.
They certainly can be.
So what do? You say, how would you introduce a record?
Well, tomorrow I put the music together for tomorrow, this afternoon, before coming here to Wayfare to meet all of you fine folks.
Yes.
I like to do little bits of thematic programming. So tomorrow I have a bit of music from the Kenneth Branagh Hamlet film. I forget the year, but Patrick
just
Doyle
watched
did the
that.
score. And right after that, a real short piece, 2 minutes, we go into the Romeo and Juliet overture by Tchaikovsky, sort of keeping with the Shakespeare theme.
How long is that?
About 17 minutes.
17 minutes. You got
Yeah.
17 minutes in which you don't have to do
2
anything.
and then 17, yeah.
Okay, so you got a 2-minute piece. That's not really classical music. That's music from a movie.
It is. We call it good sounds, Good sounds. Good
Okay.
sounds on your radio. That encompasses quite a few different things.
I wouldn't call that classical music, but okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It
Yeah.
is. Doesn't mind what I call it.
I
but it
have to
actually
say,
is classical.
the individual thing, if you were to categorize all the requests that come in over the course of a year, the biggest bucket of requests is for film music.
That's sad.
No, I don't think so. I don't
What
think so.
does it tell-
People
it's
say,
meant
who
to
is
be-
your favorite living composer? Far and away, people say John Williams. And I don't think that has anything to do with quality or concerns about that. It is what people like.
If you listen to a really great classical music station like the New York Times classical station,
Sure, like QXR, yeah.
WQXR,
Yeah.
or what is the one in Los Angeles?
KC,
The one from college, KUSC.
yeah, KUSC.
They
That's
don't
the big
play
one.
movies.
Oh, absolutely,
movie
they do.
music. Do
Oh,
they?
absolutely.
I should think they would.
Especially the
They
one in Los
do.
Angeles.
They
That is
do.
their. I mean, it's a one industry town. Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
they have a lot of people in the movie business, but I thought the classical music stations played strictly classical music, not
Not in the 21st
not music
century.
movies.
I
Okay.
have recently found out that one of the stations that I would have referred to as sort of being, very tweedy and very British, they not only have a film music show, they have a video game music show.
Okay, now I've heard everything.
Which is something that I'm completely at sea with. I mean, I'm aware of composers who have written for films like Michael Giacchino, who got their start writing video games, but there is enough compelling music to make a 1 and 2 hour weekly show on Classic FM and on one of the BBC channels. And
Music from
that
video
was
games.
news to me that I
Have
found
you-
that out about
have
4 or
you
5
listened
months
to the
ago.
show?
Many
is
of
it-
them are very cinematic, so it's not that
Agreed.
different.
Agreed.
Maybe it's cool. Have you listened to the show? Is it good?
I have, and not having played the video games, I feel like I'm missing something because they're
But
they're talking about the characters.
Do you feel drawn in? Maybe that you wanna.
I wish I knew more.
What do you
Fair.
do? Well,
That's
I'm
fair.
interested. We have to get out of here, apparently. Thomas has given me
Let's
the
go
wind-up.
another 3 hours.
But what
Come
did
on.
you do? What do you do for the 17 minutes while the Tchaikovsky piece is playing?
I have a lot of emails from listeners. That we have
So you
meetings.
answer email.
Yeah.
You can go to the
Yeah.
bathroom.
Yeah.
That's
but
always
normally
a
on
thing.
a rock station, you have to wait for a long
I meet up
song
with
to go
Thomas
to
in the hallway, let him know what's going on.
Yeah. So you have so you get time off.
It's
so
not time off. You're also riding levels, and especially in a 17-minute piece of orchestral music, you have high highs and you've got low lows, and you want to make sure everything is
Oh,
equalized.
so you have to keep messing
that's
with the
part
board.
of the job. Working the
okay.
faders, yeah.
Okay. Well, I just wonder.
I go to the
Why-
bathroom. That's what I do.
And that's how you met boyfriend number 4, was working the faders, I believe.
We've got
That's what
two.
you said.
We've got 3, 4, and 5 to go. By the way.
Yeah. That'll be the next show.
Okay, are you coming back? That would be great.
Thank
so
you.
So your show on KCBR, we can hear that on the internet.
KRCB.
KRCB, not
yeah.
KCBR. I've got that written down wrong.
That's all right.
It was an anagram.
KRCB.
It is.
And that's in San Francisco.
It's in the north of San Francisco, and I do
Okay.
a show called New Orleans by the Bay.
New Orleans by the Bay.
And I'm
So
Miss
that's-
Sazerac.
Oh, you've got a radio name.
I do.
Do you know what James's radio name is?
James?
Mr. Sazerac.
Hi. Aww.
That's a
See
weird
how
coincidence.
nice
My
he
little sugar
is.
cube.
Mr. and Mrs. Sazerac.
Little bitters.
I think we have a name for the show now, Mr. and Mrs. Sazerac.
Love it.
Okay, I'm writing that down.
Kelcy can be baby Sazerac.
So
Little baby.
maybe that was the baby up the tree.
Well, they say absinthe
been.
makes the heart grow fonder. So
Oh, very good.
Oh, it's endless.
You're a
Baby.
good
See
crowd.
how he closes out the show?
Try the
Baby
deal.
Sazerac, my spirit guide. That's another good name.
Baby Sazerac.
Baby Sazerac, my spirit guide.
That's what I should have named the record. Shoot.
Is it too late? Have you got all
Sequel.
the...
Next one.
Sequel.
We'll work on it.
We get naming rights, you and I.
Okay.
That's a great idea. Hey, guys, I cannot believe that's a whole hour. And
I can't either.
I haven't gotten to anything.
I want to keep talking about sex.
Do you? We
yes.
haven't even started
Well,
talking
I
about
know.
sex
We
yet.
covered drugs and rock and roll. so-
Well,
Yeah.
exactly.
We'll come back and we'll talk about sex on the next one.
Deal.
So when you're having sex with someone and you're a mindful person, what goes through your mind?
You absolutely are focusing on every single sensation and nothing else.
Does it make sex any better?
Well,
I
yeah.
would think. Hello.
Duh.
Okay, that's good because mostly you're not supposed to be distracted from anything. I mean, even driving, you're supposed to be
Yeah.
thinking about driving.
Next show.
Man, I am out of the loop here. Yeah.
Really?
Well, I get excited when my soup is hot. You know, I just...
James. You're so sweet.
How often are you eating soup? Is it like a regular?
I'll show you the sketches later. That's all right.
Okay. James, we didn't get to much, but we can hear you on Classical 104.9.
Absolutely.
FM
Weekdays
in New
9 to
Orleans.
1, my co-host Jack Hopke and I.
Are you both on together?
Well, weekdays 9 to 1, he's Monday, Tuesday. I am a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I
Okay.
miss Jack. I love him so much.
I will
miss-
tell him you said
Well, he's
hello.
on 104.9. You can go listen
Well,
to him
I know
still.
that.
He was good. You were both good when you were on WWNO. I'm sorry you're not still both on there. You were both the best DJs they had on that station.
Is
frankly.
Farrah Hudkins part of the classical?
He does a lot of our underwriting work for us.
Fantastic.
He does.
I miss Farrah. He was the
He's
only one
good
who could
too.
really pronounce WWNO really quickly so well.
Yeah.
Always blew my
Clearly.
It
mind.
was good.
Yeah.
Well, he's gone. He doesn't even do an air shift anymore. You're off WWNO. Jack Hopke's off of WWNO. Why did they get rid of all the best
Well,
people?
Jack's
Not that the people there aren't any good now, but
No, of
you
course
guys
not.
were the cream of the crop. I just.
You're very sweet. Jack semi-retired himself. He wanted to spend more time with the wife and the new dog, but he still does his Saturday jazz show on the main channel on WWNO, and then he does a classical 104.9.
Super show, by the way.
Yeah. So he's still in there. He's still pitching.
But you're
Yeah.
still working for the same people. It's the same company. Why don't they drag you back onto the franchise show?
They're trying to bring in a new crop of a new.
We have a
new-
24-hour FM radio station.
All right, it's 104.9 FM, ladies
Yes,
and gentlemen.
it is.
Okay, let's
God
go
love
check
ya.
it out. Thank you so much, James Arey,
Cheers.
for being here. Linda Seabright has
Come
been
do
here as well.
mindfulness with me at the Mint on Saturdays at 10 a.m.
Mindfulness at the Mint, Saturdays at 10 a.m. That's not that hard to remember. Glad you got that in. And Kelcy Mae and the new band is called
Evermore Nest.
Nest.
Check out
Great.
evermorenest.com. And you can see me tomorrow night at the Bowtie Bash benefiting No AIDS Task Force and Crescent Care. Saturday, I'm playing with Chris Champagne at his comedy show, News with the Pissed. It's at Treo at 8 o'clock on Saturday.
Okay.
And I'll be at French Quarter Fest on April 15th at
Congratulations.
11 a.m., I believe.
Which
On the
stage?
Songwriter stage.
Songwriter stage.
It's at the House of Blues.
Wonderful.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. That's a good line of stuff. Thank you, too, to Basic Swim and Gym. We can get a full range of fashion swimsuits and workout yoga clothes. That's right next to Basics underneath the lingerie store on Magazine Street. To Hangover Destroyer, the only all-natural product that can prevent a hangover, and Louisiana Legs, where you can find ings, not actual legs, but things to put your legs in. You can find that on Facebook and on Etsy. And thanks to our Patreon subscribers as well. If you want to check that out, go to patreon.com and look for It's New Orleans Happy Hour. Our producer of our show is Graham DePonte. Our associate producer is Alison Moon, and Christian Unreal is our music director. Thomas Walsh is our technical director. Asher Griffith is our Facebook Live director. And Andrew Searock is our fact checker and social media connector who can also get us Quaaludes. Our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show and stay upright for about 1 hour, drop us a line. Our address is on our website, itsneworleans.com, where you can also check out many other hours of Happy Hour, as well as some other shows you make around here, including Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti live from Commander's Palace, Louisiana Eats with with Poppy Tucker and our award-winning podcast about death, simply called Death, the Podcast, which was named one of 40 top podcasts in America in 2017, which was only last year after all. You can also find other great Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and it's batonrouge.la. You can keep up with us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well. On all of it, we're called It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com, and on our Facebook page, those photos were taken today by our photographer, Alison Moon. If you listen to this show on your favorite podcast app, thank you for subscribing to us. Take a moment, if you've got one, to rate and review us. That helps other people find us. Our show was recorded live today at Wayfare on Ferret Street, where they have a 3-hour happy hour here every day and a great brunch on the weekends. Happy Hour is a production of WWNO Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. Andrew Duhon is somewhere. You can find him on andrewduhon.com. For him and everyone else around the table here at Wayfare and back at our office at WWNO Broadcasting, thanks for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. I'll see you back here next week for more Happy Hour. Bye. Okay, everybody. Okay. Good.
Do you have $1 hanging out in your pocket right now? Do you also have a phone in there? Well, with the 7-Eleven app, you can use that $1 on any size hot beverage, including all coffee blends, hot chocolate, and lattes. Then you can make it yours with any combination of dairy and non-dairy creamers, flavors, and sweetener combinations. Coffee your way for just $1 with the 7-Eleven app, plus tax where applicable, only at participating 7-Eleven locations.